Welcome to yoga. Thanks for coming. Today we're going to focus on the psoas muscle. I'm going to do a little advertisement for the psoas muscle. Don't usually have ads on in yoga, but the psoas muscle is a deep core muscle. It is the only muscle that connects the upper and lower bodies, so it's important for that reason. It starts at the lower back and the lumbar spine. That's its origin, and then it flows. It's a wide kind of band muscle. It flows over the front of the pelvis and attaches to the top inner edge of the femur, the big thigh bone. So it's really, if it's tight, it can impact lots of things like walking, because it's the swinging motion of the leg. The psoas muscle needs to be supple for that. Because of its location, it is near the diaphragm, attaches with the diaphragm. So it has effect with breathing and flow postures like vinyasa flow. It massages organs and nerves in this big solar plexus in the abdomen of important muscles, organs, nerves. So it has an effect. It's not just physical, but it can be emotional, psychological, spiritual, all those things. So that's the psoas muscle, and we're going to be working today to take care of our psoas muscles, to release, strengthen, lengthen, all those things. So let's go. You can start seated or supine for centering, whatever you prefer. If you have a chair nearby, you might want to pause and go get a chair. Not necessary, but it's going to be an option for toward the end of practice. And blocks if you like to use blocks for a lunge. We're going to do some lunging. So find your position. Close your eyes and begin your journey inward. I'm going to do a guided scan to start, but just as I get settled up here, begin to see how you're doing inside today. Notice any sensations. Notice emotions, thoughts, just see where you're starting. And then just close your eyes and begin to scan your body. Starting at the feet. So I guess this is written so that you're lying down, but I don't think it matters. So just start at your feet, and anytime, notice the joints, pause a little while at each joint and major muscle group. Just notice, see if you can notice any tension. And if you notice any place that feels tense or tight, just rest there for a breath or two, breathing into the sensation and consciously release or let go on the exhalation. So breathe the tension away. And when you get to the hips, just pause there for a minute. So this is where the psoas muscle crosses over the bottom of the pelvis and attaches to the top of the leg bone, the femur. And just so right at that crease, your hip crease, where the leg meets the torso, And pay special attention there. Take a couple breaths there. And totally allow that area to relax. Now, you may not feel, but this is part of the visualization process, connecting mind and body. And so even if you're just imagining, go ahead and do that. So right at the hip crease, inhale, exhale, just consciously release in that area. And then let your mind's eye move around to the back of your sacrum, where the where the origin of the psoas muscle is, and do the same thing there. Just breathe in, and as you exhale, have the intention to release your lower back. And then when you're finished there, just continue up through the core of your body, releasing there, your shoulders, arms, and then all the way up through your neck, jaw, eyes, up to the crown of your head, your scalp. So just releasing tension as you go, and also noticing where you are this morning. And bring your awareness to your breath, and slowly begin to deepen, lengthen, and even out your breath. So you can use Ujjayi, that silent breath, narrowing the glottis, which is a great way to stay focused on your breath for this kind of silent noise that only you can hear in your head that it makes. And it's a tool for evening out and slowing down your breath. So whichever kind of pranayama or you want to do, you can count or just have a sense that your breath is slow, deep, even. Belly rises on the inhale, followed by the rib cage all the way up to your collarbones, and then on the exhale, everything recedes back to the midline. Check in with your face, your jaw, your neck. Relax there. And then take a moment to create an intention for your practice. And we will begin practice on our backs. So if you're not already there, come onto your back. Remove the props from your mat. And lengthen out your legs. Flex your feet so your toes are up toward the ceiling. Gently bringing the backs of your legs toward the floor. Lengthen your arms up and overhead, fingers spread. And when you come to an exhale, draw your right knee into your chest, squeeze it in. Just keep breathing as you hold your thigh toward your chest. So in this position, the psoas is contracted, but you're using the pressure of your hands on your shin to draw it in, so the muscle itself can slacken. That's a term we've used before. So it's pulled together, but not, it can actually release extra tension here. So this is a release for the psoas and other muscles. Keep breathing, notice any sensation, and exhale, release the sensation, the tension. And then straighten the right leg up toward the ceiling, lengthen up, and as slowly as you can, keeping your low back toward the mat, lower the right leg down. And next time you come to an exhale, pull your belly in, draw your left thigh towards your chest, take a hold either behind the thigh or in the shin, and draw your left thigh toward your chest. Keep lengthening out through your right leg gently. Notice difference on this side. Might be able to get your knee in closer or not. That's true for me, but everybody's different. Keep breathing, slow, deep, even, and letting the pressure of your hands against your shin or thigh do the work so the muscle can release or relax. Now raise your left foot toward the ceiling, lengthen up, tuck your tailbone, so press your low back toward the mat, and slowly as you can, lower the left leg, stretching it out as you lower it down. And then bend both knees, bring your hips flat to the mat by your feet by your hips. Take your arms out shoulder height, palms facing up, and begin windshield wipe movements. So that's inhaling center. Pull your belly in as you exhale and let both knees move over to one side, doesn't matter which side. Inhale back to center, keeping part of your foot at least in contact with the mat at all times. If you want to bring your cervical spine into the twist, you can turn in the opposite direction of your knees or with the knees, or you can just keep it neutral. So find the version of windshield wipes that is best for you today. Modify in any way that makes it feel better for you. Do move with your breath. Slowly, belly in on the exhale. And the next time your knees come to one side, pause there, doesn't matter which side. And hold the twist, but not your breath. Keep breathing. Breathe into the area of greatest sensation. Send your breath right there. And exhale, see where you can release. Anytime during practice when you feel safe and comfortable closing your eyes, that can allow you to get more out of your practice. Strengthens the mind-body connection, lessens the senses coming in from outside. Now inhale your knees back to center. Tap the back of your pelvis a few times on the mat to kind of get recentered. Inhale, pull your belly in, exhale your knees to the other side. Taking the twist in the opposite direction. Breathe into the sensation, exhale, release. And then bring your knees back to center, but keep them bent, feet on the mat. The arms can be shoulder height, or maybe it'd be better to have them down by your side, palms facing down. So you're going to let the right knee come toward the mat, keeping the foot on the floor. So sort of like a tree position. Left knee is bent. On an inhale, press into your left foot and lift your left hip off the mat. So this is a stretch for the psoas on the left side. And hold in the lift, pressing into your left foot, letting the right leg on the mat stabilize you. Take a few more breaths here. Lengthen out through your left knee energetically. And then let your left hip come down. Bring your right knee up. We'll go to the other side. Left knee goes toward the mat. So you're on the outer edge of your left foot. Press into your right foot. Take your right hip up and lengthen out all the way from the top of your leg out through your knee. Lengthen out. So increase the space in the hip joint there, which will draw the lower end of your psoas away, giving it a stretch. Breathe. And then let your right hip come down, left knee come up. Now you can keep your left knee bent or straighten it out. Why don't you start with it bent, and then you can see what you want to do. We're going to come into a half happy baby. So bring your right knee toward your armpit. Take a hold of your right toe or your ankle or the outside of your foot. So anywhere you can get a purchase, and press that knee down toward your armpit or the mat out to the side. Now once you're here, you can see if you'd like to straighten your left leg. So whatever suits you. So here we're again slackening the psoas on the right side. Just releasing some tension. So as I said before, the psoas muscle needs to be very supple, long and strong. Okay, then take your right foot to the floor and take your left knee toward your armpit and come into half happy baby on the other side. So when we sit in chairs, so press down, you can press pretty hard here. When we sit in chairs a lot or driving or whatever, that the psoas muscle, which is one of the hip flexors, is relaxed in a shortened state. So lengthening and releasing the tension in it and also stretching it is important to keep it supple. Now let the left foot come down. Cross your ankles or come onto your side and roll up, come up and around to all fours, tabletop. So set up so that your wrists are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. Spread your fingers, press into the base of the fingers, take a little weight off your wrists. Press into your knees, the tops of your feet, and begin cat-cow. So inhale, your belly comes toward the mat, tailbone lifts. Don't overarch the neck though. And then exhale, push away, tailbone tucks, chin comes toward your chest, and just moving with your breath. Inhale is the cow, spinal extension. Exhale is cat, spinal flexion. So as this relates to the psoas, the origin of the psoas muscle is in your low back. So as you flex and extend the spine here, the psoas is getting stretched and strengthened. So on the cat part, the ends are moving closer together, contracting. And on the cow part, a little stretch. And also you're flowing. So this is the quality, moving with your breath, flowing. This keeps everything supple, which is, I love that word, supple. Strong, but also long. Flowing like water. That's what vinyasa is when we move with the breath. And the next time you come to an exhale, let your hips come all the way back over your heels in child's pose. Any arms you want out in front, under your forehead, back by your sides. So find the child's pose where you can just let everything go. Here again, as on our back, thighs are right against the chest or close to it. So this is providing a release or slackening of your psoas muscle and other muscles. Gravity and body weight holding the flexion. Let everything sink right down into the mat for a few breaths. Let go. And now come back up to all four. And here, if your knees are sensitive, you might want a blanket to put under your knees. We're going to do some just lunge a little bit. So from all fours, take your right foot forward up between your hands. Slide your left knee back. And then bring one hand to your knee and the other hand to your right knee. If that works, you can stay down or have your hands on blocks if that's better. So this is a stretch for the psoas on the back left leg. So you want your right knee over your right ankle. Press down with your hands against that leg. That can facilitate the stretch of your left leg psoas. So right on the front of your left thigh, hip crease, all the way from your lumbar spine, traveling over the front of your pelvis and down to the inner femur. Find a gaze point. This can be a little wobbly, so it's a bit of a balance. Find a gaze point. Take a couple more deep breaths here. Sink on the exhale. A little more stretch. And then bring your hands back to the mat. Right knee back. You might want to circle your hips a few times around your knees in each direction. And then bring your left foot forward. Low lunge on the other side. You can be on the balls of your ball of your right foot, or your foot can be flat down, whatever works. So attention and focus and awareness, especially on the front of the right hip and to the stretch of the psoas muscle there. The psoas muscle is deep, so you can't really palpate it or feel it very easily. So just bring your awareness there, and maybe with practice you might be able to feel it. Slow, deep, even breath, sinking into the stretch. And then bring your hands back to the mat. Back to tabletop. Tuck your toes, hips up and back into downward facing dog. Pedal your feet a little bit in down dog. Lift your tailbone to the ceilings. Bend your knees a little bit and then gradually straighten. Head hangs heavy. Look up between your hands and then step, walk, or jump, coming to the front edge of your mat in Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Knees bent a little or a lot. Just hang for a couple breaths. And then come all the way up to standing, the best way for you. And we'll come into mountain pose. Starting with your foundation, lift, spread your toes, find your balance on all four corners of the feet. Take a little tuck in your tailbone, lengthen up through the side waist. Externally rotate your shoulders, your arms, shoulder blades up, back, and down, shoulder blades together on the back. Spread your fingers. Lift up through the crown of your head. Close your eyes. And just relax any unneeded effort once you're in alignment. So in this position, the psoas, remember, it comes out from both sides of your spine. So there's a psoas muscle on each side, stabilizing the pelvis. So that's really one of the prime muscular functions of the psoas, to stabilize the pelvis and keep alignment here, grounding down. Reconnect with your breath. Relax your face. Stable and easy in mountain pose. Now open your eyes. You might want to step your feet a little bit further apart, at least hip width apart. Spread your fingers. Inhale, arms up, palms touch. And then interlace your fingers. Spread your palms up toward the ceiling. Reach them up. Inhale here. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, side bend left. Try to keep your arms right by your ears. So you're moving straight over, not a little forward, not a little back, moving with your breath. Inhaling up, exhaling. Maybe get a little more out of this stretch by pressing into the outside foot, and as you continue to reach out through your palms. Couple more. And then let your arms come down by your sides, roll out your shoulders. And we're going to do some balance. So let your weight start with your hands, either in Anjali Mudra, hands on your hips. Let the weight come into your right foot. So just pause there for a minute. Firm up your core, so hip bones come together. Zip it in and up. Hip muscles active, holding the pelvis and stable here. Find your gaze point, something that's not moving. Just look at it softly, not staring at it, just soft gaze. Come up onto your left toes. And then take your left knee out to the side and come into your version of tree pose. Foot can be on your upper thigh. If that's the case, press the thigh into the foot into the thigh. And then you can do any arms you like in tree pose. So in tree pose, the psoas is working on both sides. On the right side, it's stabilizing the pelvis here. On the left side, it's helping to hold the leg up there. Keep your breath slow, deep, even. You can add anything to it you want. You can make your gaze go up to the ceiling and down. You could even bring a twist in. Okay, then come out with control. Shake out your standing leg. Any movements you need to get rid of that tension. Let your weight come into your left foot. Up on your right toes. Make sure your left hip doesn't jut out. So firm all the muscles up on that hip there, side of your left leg. And come into your tree pose on this side. So anywhere, it doesn't have to be the same thing you did on the other side. Have fun with it, explore. Just remember to breathe. If you come out, just take a breath and build up slowly. Don't hurry it. Be mindful. Okay, then come out with as much control as you can. And we're going to do some sun salutations. So this is a flow sequence. It warms up and moves all the muscles and joints all over our body. But as far as the psoas is concerned, it strengthens and lengthens that too. So come to the front edge of your mat in mountain pose. Inhale, arms go up, fingers spread. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, hands against your shins, lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot back, lunge. Here you might want to have blocks. Left knee over left ankle, lengthen out through the back leg. Inhale, left foot back to join the right foot, downward facing dog. Exhale here. Inhale, right foot forward. Lunge on this side. The inhale moves you in, the exhale, you stay in the pose. Inhale, rock back, bring your left foot up to meet the right, and exhale into forward bend. Inhale, half lift, lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, palms touch, and come right down to your heart center. We'll do that same thing, starting with the left foot. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot back. Lunge, right foot forward, lunge, exhale. Inhale, right foot back, downward facing dog. Exhale in dog. Inhale, left foot up, get it up there any way you can. Exhale in lunge. Inhale, rock back, right foot forward. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And hands down to the heart center. And pause in mountain pose. Just breathing, noticing energy flowing. Reconnect with your breath. And then open your eyes. Turn to face the long edge of your mat and spread your feet wide apart. Toes facing forward, maybe, definitely not pointed out, maybe a little bit pigeon-toed, but parallel. Hands on your hips. So press down into both feet. You have some slight inward rotation here. So the thighs rolling back, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Take your left heel, lift it and rotate it back toward the back corner of your mat. Pivot on the right heel so your right toes come toward the front edge or short edge of the mat. Square your shoulders. Lift your right arm. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, reach out. I'm sorry, back up before the arm. I missed a step. Bend your right knee over your right ankle. Sorry. Now bring your arm up and exhale, reach out. Bring your forearm somewhere on your thigh. Now if your shoulder has come forward, bring it back. So your shoulders are aiming to be stacked here. Left over on the top, bring it back. Your hand can be on your hip, back of your hand on your sacrum, or you can bring your left arm over your left ear, whatever feels right for you. Now, just to contact the psoas here, press your elbow into the quadricep, your thigh. Press your elbow into the thigh. Don't let your spine go into flexion, bend. Keep it straight. Now, press your thigh, quadricep muscle, into your arm. So 2 pressings. Arm into thigh, thigh into arm, and that is an isometric strengthening of the psoas muscle. So this is and then the back, the psoas is stretching on the back leg. So this is Utthita, well, if your arm's out here, it's Utthita Parsvakonasana, bent side angle. Breathe. Keep pressing into both feet. And keep lifting your torso so it's not collapsing toward the thigh. Then inhale, straighten your right leg, come up to middle. I need to do this, get some movement into my hips here. Then take your right heel back toward the back corner, left toes toward the short edge. Bend your left knee over left ankle. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, reach forward with your left arm going straight out, and then side bending to take the forearm onto your thigh. Any arm you want, you can extend it over your ear. Bring it to your sacrum, keep it on your hip. So once again, give a little extra oomph to the psoas by pressing your elbow or forearm into the thigh and the thigh into the forearm. So you're activating both ends of the psoas here. Keep your chest open. And just take a couple of slow, deep breaths here. Bent side angle. Stretch and strengthen the psoas. And then straighten your left leg. Parallel your feet. And heel toe them together. Do a few rounds of half sun to bring some movement after that hold. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair or half lift. Exhale all the way up so you can make your half sun any way you want. Just move with your breath. Flow. Try to have the breath flow, the inhale flow into the exhale. Exhale flow into the inhale. Body flowing with your breath. And then pause for just a second. We're going to come down to our backs. So inhale, come up. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands to the mat. Step your feet back into downward facing dog. Inhale your knees to the mat. And then feet out to the side. Come onto your seat. And lower down all the way onto your back. Bend your knees, bring your knees toward your armpits, feet up toward the ceiling. So we did half happy baby. Now we're going to do a full-on happy baby. So press down, hold on to the bottom of your feet or your ankle or your toes, and just take any movement here. Rock on your sacrum. This can be a nice massage for your lower back. At the same time that you're bringing some openness to your low back, your sacrum, some release to your inner, your hip creases. And then bring your feet to the mat. We're going to do constructed rest pose, which is a great release for your psoas. So there's going to be an option with the chair, but let's start with the traditional constructed rest pose. So bring your feet out to the knees are bent. Bring your feet out toward the outer edges of your mat. So feet are moving apart. And then let your knees come together. So if having your feet to the outer edges of the mat is not a good feeling, it is not for me, for my inner thighs, I'm going to walk my feet a little closer together. So see if you can find a distance that's greater than hip width, but where your knees can actually come together and support. Each knee supports the other, so your psoas muscles, the muscles on your inner thighs can release and relax because they're supported. So this is a great release for the psoas muscles. Take your arms, cross over, so right hand is on the left shoulder, left hand is on the right. So you're giving yourself a hug here. And then just settle in and just breathe here. So breathe in to that hip crease area and just exhale, see if you can release there. If this is not comfortable for you, does not feel good, an option is to have a chair or something the height of a chair. Get your bottom near the legs and put the lower legs up on the chair, so the lower legs are supported, and then the upper legs can just drape down. So the psoas, if you can envision it here too, there's a support, so it can just release and relax. So constructed rest or feet up on a chair, either way, just for another couple minutes, we're going to rest here. Keep your focus, please, inside. So it can be on your breath, or just, you can keep it right on your mind's eye on that psoas muscle. Visualize what's happening with it, or the movement of your body with the breath. Focus on something. in your body. Okay, so come out of whatever position you've gotten into, and we've got take a minute or so to do any last pose or movement or anything before moving into Savasana. So maybe a couple minutes. There might be something your body is calling for. So listen to your body and see if you're getting better at hearing it, and give yourself what you need. So finish up, balance out your sides, and finish up and start getting yourself into your Savasana pose. Make sure you're comfortable, symmetrical, and using as little effort as possible. I'm going to do a little reading at the beginning of Savasana, and then I will be quiet. So Savasana is final rest, and it's really, I say, one of the most important poses, if not the most important part of your practice, pose in your practice. Something you can obviously do off the mat anytime. And it's surrender. So I'm going to read something this is in a book about the Psoas muscle, but it's from someone named Nakvi. I do not know who that is, but I'm giving that person credit. Surrender is the most beautiful word. It is powerful and nurturing, healing us as it provides both strength and compassion. As we understand the essence and meaning of the word surrender through our hearts, we begin to transform. As we transform internally, the external world changes. As within, so without. How to surrender is many-faceted. The word itself has two parts. First, we begin to release what is held by the mind, body, and spirit. The release can be facilitated through focus and breath awareness. Along with this focus, the breath is brought to the forefront, using the breath as the guide in scanning the physical sensations, mental thoughts, and emotional feelings. With the release, an acceptance of what is happening is important. When we release and accept and embrace life in any moment, we are surrendering. It leaves us open to the moment, to being completely present. With continuous practice of surrendering, we build the ability to heal. As we heal, the space that opens up is filled with joy. Surrender, heal, and be in joy. And you gently bring your awareness back to the space. Deepen your breath. Awaken your body with small movements. And bringing your knees into your chest. Come over onto your favorite side. And just rest here for a few moments, reconnecting with your breath. Revisit your intention. Just notice where you are at the end of the practice, in your body, in your emotions, in your mind. Use your arms to bring you up to a comfortable seat. Sit with a nice, tall, straight spine, grounding down through your sit bones and lifting up through the crown of your head. Let's just take 3 breaths, deep breaths in, sighing them out through the mouth. So inhale through the nose. And then bring your hands, palms together at your heart space. Gently lower your chin toward your fingers. Thank you for coming to practice today, devoting this hour just to yourself, to get to know yourself better, to take care of your mind, your body, your spirit, to bring wellness to yourself. The light in me bows to and honors the very same light in each of you. Namaste. Thanks for coming and listening to my advertisement for the Psoas Muscle. And I hope you have a great day, a great week, weekend, whatever's happening. And Mother's Day's coming up. Well, it will have passed by the time you see this. Anyway, be well, and I'll see you back here next week. Bye.